question they'll have to answer until right now. Oh, and this part of the competition, it's worth 25% of tonight's overall scores. On this table right here are 15 questions written by the candidates, and each will read her own question. Okay, here we go. Asking the first pure question is Nebraska. And answering that question is Connecticut. Nebraska? All right, what is your question, Nebraska?
How would you encourage women without a fine arts background to compete in Miss America when historically only stage talents have excelled?
We are heading into Miss America 2.0. We have the opportunity to showcase who women are on stage and off. I would encourage young women to get involved and showcase what they can do on stage. It doesn't have to be a fine arts talent. Go out there, think outside of the box, and be creative. Thank you.
Well done. Nicely done. Thank you. Come on over, Connecticut. Oklahoma, step up to the microphone. Okay, ask your question.
Oklahoma, what advice would you tell a young woman watching tonight who is dreaming of becoming Miss America?
This week, I really explored this question. The advice I would give to 8-year-old Ashley, who dreamed of performing on the Miss Oklahoma and the Miss America stage, is believe in yourself, but believe in your timing. In life, I've learned that timing is everything. And I truly feel like my time is now, and that's why I'm on the Miss America stage, and that's the message I want to share.
Thank you so much. Well done. Idaho, step up to the mic. You're next. And Oklahoma, you're going to ask your question when you're ready.
How have your teachers and your education in general contributed to getting you here at Miss America?
At the UC Davis, I am a minor in Chinese, and my Chinese professors have been instrumental in telling me that the place I start does not determine how far I can go. As a person who's half Chinese and a first-generation American, I'm so proud to have utilized my background and my education to have inspirational people along my way to tell me that anything is possible.
Wonderful, Idaho. Thank you for sharing your story. Come on over here. And Washington, you have the next Washington is the next randomly chosen candidate. Come on down, and Idaho, let's get your question. They're sticky. Here we go. Okay, ready to ask your question? Okay.
Dana Marie, as Miss America, what would you do if you knew you could not fail?
There's so many things I would do. First of all, as a broadcast journalist, I would tell the story of Miss America, go to every single state and share why we're relevant. We are advocating for social impact. I want everybody to know when I walk into a room wearing a crown and sash, I advocate for wheelchair adaptive sports so any child, adult, and veteran can be an athlete.
Thank you so much, Washington. Indiana, step up to the mic. Washington, pick your card. Ready? Ask your question.
Why do you think Miss America as a public figure is relevant in today's world, and how do you plan to prove that? I am firsthand an example of why this organization is relevant. A year ago, I was working full-time in order to afford my online education, but thanks to the scholarships of this very organization, I have a full ride to a private university, and that is relevant. And I would love to share that to our sponsors and future women that would like to get involved in our organization.
Thank you, Miss Indiana. Scholarships are so important. Next, New York. Take your place, New York. Indiana, ask your question.
Our generation has a common issue of low self-esteem and body image. How can you promote positive body image as Miss America?
I would start by sharing my story. I grew up at a predominantly Caucasian school, and there was only a 5% minority, and I felt out of place so much because of the color of my skin. But growing up, I found my love of arts and through music, and that helped me to feel positive about myself and about who I was, and that's what I would encourage women to do, young girls to do, is find who they are.
Find who you are. Wonderfully said, New York. Come on over here, and up next is Colorado. New York, ready to ask your question? Here we go.
Miss America values the importance of talent. How would you encourage young people to invest their talents in the arts?
The arts are incredibly important in exploring who you are. For me, being artistic is a way to express myself. It's a way to decompress at the end of the day. Through poetry, I'm able to elaborate on my experiences and get things out that I can't necessarily feel comfortable telling to people on a day-to-day basis. And so it's a great way to find a safe space for yourself.
Thank you so much. Aren't these ladies doing wonderfully? More peer-to-peer interviews coming up. And then we find out who our judges will pick for the top 10 right here on Miss America 2019 on ABC 19. How are you guys feeling so far? Do you know who's going to win yet? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, let's move on. In random order, let's continue our interviews with Alabama. Step up to the mic. And Colorado, please read your question.
Hi, Callie. How would you define Miss America's role in the political arena?
I think it's really important, especially nowadays when there's such a polarization in our nation, that Miss America does have a positive light when it comes to addressing politics, making sure that she is speaking appropriately on politics and also speaking her own opinion confidently.
Thank you. Well done. Minnesota, you are next. Come on, Alabama. There's your card. Ready? Ask your question, please.
How does the talent you chose to perform here tonight help define you?
As a professional dancer, I chose to perform a piece that I choreographed, which actually has the premise of dancing on stage with a ghost. As a choreographer, I love to break down that fourth wall between the performer and the audience to show that vulnerability and make a connection with my audience. Thank you.
Well done, Minnesota. Moving on, District of Columbia, please step forward. Choose your card. And please ask your question.
How do you empower women to overcome their fears?
As a woman in technology, I am empowered by technology, and it has allowed me to turn my passion for music into a career. And so in order to empower women, I encourage them to discover their aha moments and figuring out what they love to do and how they can turn that into their careers and be empowered by their passions.
Well said. Wisconsin is our next randomly selected candidate. District of Columbia. Let's get your question. Ready? Ask your question.
What do you hope to achieve as Miss America?
My platform, my social impact initiative is called BOSS. That's all about building our soft skills and strengthening our future for not only students, but adults and my peers as well, knowing that they are capable of so much. As someone who competed 6 times for my state job and have been in this organization for 8 years, I want to be that source of empowerment for others to challenge themselves and to chase their dreams.
Spoken like a true boss, Wisconsin. Massachusetts, please come forward. Ask away.
Society is obsessed with technology and social media. How can we improve our face-to-face communication skills?
Simply put, it's time to just put them down. Unfortunately, technology has made us dehumanize one another. We start to look at people as Democrats or Republicans, black or white. There's no gray area anymore, and that's really important in 2018. We're not just one kind of person. We're multifaceted, complex people, and the women on the stage, we represent that.
Incredible. I am so impressed with all of these young women. Louisiana, step up to the mic. Massachusetts, come over here and ask your question. Ready? Ask away.
What is the most difficult thing you've had to do in your life?
I actually recently went through a hard time just in prelim competitions with pressure and stress, and I've never dealt with that before, but I've learned that with our friends, we can make it through, and I hope that as Miss America, I can promote my social impact, inspire others to get through, not on their own, but with their sisters and brothers around them. Thank you.
Very nice, Louisiana. Sisterhood and brotherhood. We are down to our last 2. Florida, you're up. Okay, Louisiana. Ask your question.
If crowned, what would you do to reach a more diverse audience?
It's so important that Miss America, especially this time, Miss America 2.0, is relatable to all audiences, people from all backgrounds, all ethnicities. And it would be one of my priorities to make sure that I was relatable to all of those audiences and hopefully learn a little bit about them as well, because what's most important in being relatable is listening to others and their stories.
Thank you so much. Well done, Florida. Florida. Come this way. Don't try to run away. And finally, she was our last questioner, and now she's our last responder. Nebraska, are you ready? Ask your question.
After everything that's happened the past few years, why is the United States still a global leader?
As someone who's been born and raised in small town Nebraska, I'm proud of where I come from because we have a united community, people who are willing to reach out and help each other. And I think that's what the United States stands for. Because we're a melting pot of different cultures, races, religions, sexualities, and genders, we have been a really united front. And I think that's what makes us such a great superpower. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies. Let's give another round of applause for all of these articulate